everybody, my name is Cheri. Welcome to my stamp studio. We are in the midst of preparing for the great snow apocalypse in Indianapolis today. So we were supposed to get some freezing rain today. May we get some freezing rain, may not get some freezing rain, but we are going to get a lot of snow. So if you follow my channel, here's a couple things you need to know. One, my daughter and her boyfriend got us for Christmas tickets to the Pacers game and a dinner out. And of course, it's tonight in the middle of the ice storm. So we're still hoping to go to that. But then we are going to get quite a lot of snow. For certain, my husband's going to be working from home. He's coming home half day today and maybe a couple of days after that. So when he works from home, he works for a hospital, a project manager. So while both of our jobs are important, his is a tad more important than mine as far as real world things. And he has on a lot of Zoom calls, and his office is right next to mine. So filming kind of comes to a complete standstill if he's here, because y'all don't want to hear all about hospital things, right? While I'm filming. So I'm trying to get a couple in today, so I'll have some to go in the event that he's here for very many days. So when he eventually retires, as much as I love our home and I love our pool, I'm like, if I'm going to keep working, we may have to do something else because our spaces are too close together. So there's that. So if I go a little AWOL, it'll not be because something happened. I'm going to list stuff on eBay or do something that I can do while he's here. So there's that. Then with today's project, I'm going to do a card club alternate kind of. So if you're unfamiliar with my card club, I have a couple of videos up recently that I've posted for February card club. So my card club is my most inexpensive online class, easiest way to stamp with me, and you literally get to stamp with me online. So it's $38. It's a subscription service that I offer via PayPal subscriptions. So you just go to PayPal, you sign up. You do not have to have a PayPal account because they'll take your checking or a debit or whatever credit card you want to use. It's all perfectly safe. PayPal's super, super safe. So you sign up once, and then every month they bill you. And then every month I send you a fun package filled with goodies. So every month you get the supplies to stamp 6 projects. So I'm going to show you the first one, because every month you always get to see the first one, and then the other 2, just my club girls get to see. But then your packet includes almost always, I mean, there may be a month where it's a little bit different. So I hate to say always, because then you'll be like you said, but 99% of the time you will get a full spool of ribbon. So this month they're getting the jade and the gold. 99% of the time you're going to get a full package of embellishments. And this month they're getting the brushed brass butterflies. I just like saying that over and over again. And then they get anywhere between a half or a full package of designer series papers or specialty cardstocks or something. This month, they are getting a half a pack of the Abstract Beauty designer series paper. It's a specialty paper. It's 4x6. It's a new size. So they get a half a packet of that. And then they get the supplies to do 6 projects. We do 3 designs, and then they do 2 of each. And part of the reason I do it that way, and then they get the envelopes. So whatever cards they need, whatever die cuts, whatever punches, I do all that. It's all ready to go, so you can stamp along with me in the video. You don't have to have a die cut machine to do this class, but you get the envelopes and then you can make 6. But the reason I give them 2 of each is because I do alternate projects, which I'm going to do one for you now. Of one of their alternates, and then every couple of months I Zoom with them. So I do a morning and an evening session, so it doesn't matter where in the US you are, you can get in on one of them. And then I will tell you what you need, and then you can pull it from the stuff that we've gotten, and then you can stamp with me, and we'll just stamp together. It's a great time to be able to ask questions, and it's just fun to get to know people, and you get to know the other club girls too, where they're from. Always talk about the weather because it's so different all over. One of the girls is in Guam, so she's always warm, while the rest of us right now have not been. This month the featured set is Friends of the Forest. Now the featured club set, if you're in club, you can buy it at catalog cost. I pick up your shipping and your tax, and I just stick it in, and they can also buy an adhesive package at cost. But they don't have to. That's why I do alternates. So if this is not your style, that's fine. I'll make it work with something else, because the card I'm going to show you now, completely different than this style. But you can easily switch your things over. This is an adorable set though, and I'm going to use it. I've used it with club, and then I'm going to use it not with club stuff, so you can kind of see it both ways. So here are the first two. This paper is just so much fun. It has these really fun gold accents. Here's their ribbon, so the paper, the ribbon, and then the brushed brass butterflies. So 2 different sheets of the paper. Again, it's 4 by 6. And then I've had them save we're gonna save our little strips because when we meet together via Zoom, we're gonna use those on something. I don't know what, because you know, that's not happening yet. So this video's up if you're gonna go watch that. This one also uses the new blends. So if you, maybe I don't have it laying here. We do have a new set of natural tone blends, and you can see those on this video, which again, this paper is from the Abstract Beauty. You can see it's right here. So this is a really pretty gold piece. I flipped this. This is the little piece from that. This is using the natural tone blends. So you can get some skin colors. This is the Altogether Suite. Details in my email, and this video has posted so you can see the blends. But if you buy the blends from me in February, you can also take a free online class. And then last month, Club Girls got the classic matte dots. Yep, classic matte dots. All of a sudden I was like, that's kind of a weird name for those, but that's what they're called. So that's this is also a little bit of an alternate project because I'll have 2 of those things in Club. So today I'm going to do an ultimate project, and I'm going to use the Calming Camellia, which, see, I told you, not at all like Friends of the Forest. And this is a celebration set. Now with this set, there's been a little bit of confusion on it. It's free from Stampin' Up! With a $300 order in one, because they don't go back and add things up. If you order from me at the end of the month, I go back and add them all up. So if you order $55 this month and this week and $200 next week, that will qualify you for my $200 VIP video projects. So I add them up. Stampin' Up! Does not add them up. So this needs to be in one order. The other thing the other way you get it is if you combine orders with you and your friends. So if you guys want this and you have a couple of friends who stamp, then I'll put your orders together and then that will come. I will also be doing a prize with it because I have an extra set, and I'll do a prize with it in March. So if you didn't get it, but it's part of this. Now we're going back to my celebration series. We're going to pick up from where I interrupted the celebration series to get to Club. So when you do Club, everything comes to you. So this is going to be kind of an alternate. I did switch the color of the paper because most of the Club Girls have other colors, but I'm going to this time I'm going to do something kind of fun. So this month, this card, they are getting these circles so they can make 2 of this. So they'll have this, and then they have this little bit of white here to stamp all their little creatures on. So I'm going to use this, and I'm going to do the alternate with the Camellia. So I want it to be kind of a softer look because this is softer, and I'm going to do, let me show you what I'm going to do. So last month in Club, this was the ribbon they got. It comes in this in Moonlight. So if you're in Club, you already have this. And like I said, they got the classic matte dots. So I'm going to do an alternate project with a little bit of this month and a little bit of last month. That's how we kind of do the Zooms, where I kind of mix it all up and show you how to use the stuff you already have. Then I'm also going to use the blending brushes because we did Welcoming Woods in December and we used the blending brushes. So I know most of them have the blending brushes. So let's get going. This card goes together super fast and it's beautiful. So I'm going to stamp in basic gray because, like I said, I don't want any stark black on this card. I want it to be a softer kind of romantic because this stamp set is stunningly beautiful. And it just fits. You don't get the whole image on here, but you don't need the whole thing. You make sure you press really well because it's a distinctive stamp. So you want to make sure you got everywhere. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, really, you could pull some of our black and white. The Altogether one has black and white in it. Any of the black and white colored cardstocks and just be done with that. Is that not beautiful? Now I'm going to take this because in Club they will have this. And then there's really good words in this, but I'm just going to go with happy birthday because we can always use a happy birthday. I'm just going to stamp that there. So that's all the stamping that we're going to do on this card. And then I'm going to just give this a second to dry. Before the ice comes, it is pouring rain, so it's a little muggy here today. And muggy, you know, makes all of our stuff take a second longer to dry. So here's this. So super pretty. It's one of the pieces. You can see you can flip it over and have the other side, but if there's a specialty side, it's really hard for me to not use it. I'm going to use the mint, and I don't want it to be white. So we're just going to color the whole thing. And the great thing is, anytime you have the foil, it just resists. So when you do a lot of sponging like this, because now this will be the second whole sheet that I've done, you do need to make sure that you have your ink refills, because this is going to suck all of my ink out of my mint pad. Especially if you're a demonstrator, or if you're making more than one of these. Like if you're going to do 5 or 6, or you're doing it in a class, you will just have all of your ink will be gone. And it just comes right off the top of that gold, and it actually makes it a little bit easier to not have any smeary parts on this. And you can get it as dark or as light mint as you want. In fact, you could do this mint on mint. If you want to mount this on mint cardstock, I'm mounting it on the Blushing Bride so it matches the ribbon. So just kind of get these edges out where I've been holding it, so they're a little bit darker, and then we're done. So how pretty is that? Now we've totally transformed this piece of paper into a mint one. So with these pieces of paper that are in this kit, you can do whatever blending brush you have and whatever color of ink. You have that many colors of what you can do with it. So now let's color this. So I'm going to take my blends. I've been on a blends kick, and it's partly because we now have, didn't color this. So let's just clean off the brush on the top of that. And again, if you don't have mint cardstock, that's okay, because you just made some. So you don't have to have that little scrap. That's why I wanted them to have these for Card Club, because then you can make the stuff match even if you don't have all of the cardstock colors. So I'm going to take, I have papaya, and this is the dark papaya, and I'm going to use my bullet tip, get these centers of the flower. And I am coloring on the basic gray. You saw I stamped basic gray. And now I have dark and light mint to match our card. So in all these places where the leaves are already dark, I'm just gonna kind of brush that on. It doesn't show a whole lot. And I don't wanna smear, because you don't wanna color forever, because it could re-moisten the ink a little bit, but as long as you use a light touch, it's good. And I'm going to take the light, and with the light I'm going to use the brush tip. Just add that little hint of mint. It's a light color. And then I'll just kind of let that dry, and then we'll go back and hit that again in a second. Now I'm going to take my light pale papaya, and all these places where there's kind of shading, I'm just going to kind of draw a little line on it. And there is a flower down here. Depending on how you stamped it, you may have a little bit, or it may not be on there at all. Now I have the petal pink, which is not any color in here, but they all look nice together, and it's, you know, they're flowers, so they all coordinate well. So again, I'm just kind of hitting some of the spots. I don't want it all to be this brighter pink, but just some highlights. These places where the petals are flipped over is a good place to put it, because it'll be a little bit darker than everything else. And now I'm going to take the bullet tip of the light petal pink, and I do need to order a new one. And I want to leave some of my flower white. I don't want it to all be pink, so I'm going to kind of go around the edges and kind of just draw that back in. And then you can see now that the first papaya is starting to fade a little bit. So I'm just gonna go here. Add a little bit of that. Just little highlights of the darker. Again, I don't want it to, I want this to be a light and like a really faint colored, kind of faded newsprint kind of look. Look how pretty that is. So we've got that. Okay, so I got this colored. It's just beautiful. Look how pretty that is. And when you put it with this paper, it just really pops those flowers out. So let's start putting it all together. Here's our petal pink. We'll put this on here. That's, I wasn't worried about getting that dark there, and now you can see why, because it's going to get covered up. So let's add this. Again, this paper comes 4 by 6, so you just cut that to 5 1/4, and then you don't even have to do the 4. It's really nice. Now I'm going to take, I want this to be popped up. Let's go ahead and cut this out. I'm just going to hand cut a little banner. And again, it's vintage and old, so nothing has to be straight. Just pretend time has gotten to your banner, so it doesn't need to be perfect. So there we have a little banner. I like to give it a little bit of a fold. So let's take, when you get the strips like this looks like they may have come from a paper pumpkin because they're not the regular size. But when I have a big piece like this, I'm just going to cut right here and right here, because these edges of your dimensionals can be used and they're really nice for this. I'm going to put it right in the middle. That way I can kind of stick stuff up underneath this. Put this here. So pretty. And then here's the ribbon they got in Card Club last month. It's from the Horizons bundle. I know lots of them do not like to tie bows. I learned this in our last Zoom session. So I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive over here. I'm going to make sure I get both sides. And then just pick this up. Lay that under there. Then we have in the Heart and Home. So this isn't part of Club, but they all have other stuff. And when I show them other stuff, then you can buy other stuff. So these are our Heart and Home doilies. And you can see part of the reason I went with gray and how pretty is this. So I just want pieces of it. So let's do this right here. Again, that's, now you can see why I just put my dimensional in the middle, because now I can work with all of this underneath. So just kind of set this under and perfect. Then you don't have to worry about like rearranging it at all. You can just put it where it works. Then I'm gonna get it maybe another, like a pie shaped. So let's put that one aside. I don't want it, the whole thing to be lined. And so it fits easier, just take that off. Okay, just take this, lift this up. And I just want a little highlight of it to show. And then we've got this, so let's get a dimensional again. I'm gonna put it right here where I kind of raised that up so it keeps a little bit of that bend. Stick that there. And then remember I said last month they got the classic matte dots, and look at the colors, that gray and the white, perfect for this. So I'm gonna do 5. So let's do 3 whites, because they'll kind of pop on. So I'm going to put those on the gray, where I stamped gray. And then let's get 2 of the gray, and we'll put those out on the white. Because this kind of splatter effect looks pretty with these. And when you have whole packets of embellishments, my goal is for y'all to use them. And then this month, you have the brushed brass butterflies. Oh my goodness. I'm just going to call them the butterflies. I'm just going to use one because we've already got a lot of embellishments on the top. But look how cute those gold ones look with the gold paper. I'm just going to put it right here so it's easy to be seen. And then one last little touch, because this is vintage and olds and beautiful. I'm going to take my Ink of Stella. And this time I'm only going to color the actual flower and the leaves. And that will help it pop a little bit more out of that fun background that it's on. So let's do the leaves first. I'm not brushing it over everything. Like, do the individual items. That way you can kind of control it, and it helps with the illusion of it popping up if you don't do everything. Because otherwise it's just a large swash of glitter. Okay, there we go. So pretty. Of course, I should have done this yesterday when it was bright and sunny and beautiful, because sometimes it's harder to see. There's my other one. And every time you do a blend card, like sometimes they'll be a little bit different, although this one doesn't look a ton different. This one's maybe a tad bit lighter, which does happen when I'm filming because I tend to press harder while I'm talking. So there you go. If you're interested in joining my card club, then just the link to do it will be down underneath this video if you're watching on YouTube. Otherwise, it's on my website and it will be in my email. And the other thing is, if you join my team, then you can buy all of your supplies at discount. You can still be in the club if you want. If you want me to cut your paper for you, you can still be in the club. But all of my team girls get all of my online tutorial videos, and they have access to those for free. So I house those on my team Facebook page. And so anytime they want to do an online class, they can just go back and do it. They have them like from 2 years ago. They can go back and do past retreats, past try-its, all of the card clubs, because that's a perk of being on my team, is that you can just access all of my online content. So if you're interested in that during celebration, you get to add 2 additional stamp sets to your kit. Everybody have a great day, and hopefully you are not getting iced out where you are. Bye.